This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, I'm Justin Betty.
And I'm Stacy Van Dyke. Bar close in downtown Fargo can be a chaotic and stressful time for both partygoers and neighbors.
But Fargo police has been working on a proposed plan to change that. Tonight, the department got the green light to move forward with the planning process, but the decision didn't come without some hesitation.
Valley News Team's Nashay Taylor explains.
The Fargo Police Department proposes implementing designated rideshare and cab pickup locations across the downtown area with the hope of eliminating some safety concerns when everyone leaves at closing time.
But the main purpose of doing this would be to pull people away from Broadway, away from some of those busy, narrower streets and also the bars where we were seeing some of these fights and other issues occurring.
It would implement 4 pickup locations, 1 each in the north, south, east, and west part of the downtown area, including along West 7th Street and north of Main Avenue.
We're attempting to move a problem. What's happening right now is Lyft and Uber and they can't get close enough to the bar to pick people up who want to leave, not the people that are going to congregate anyway.
But some commissioners worry about some of the details of the plan and potentially creating new problems.
We're removing these groups away from the bars and then they're going somewhere else. And there's going to be large groups of people in different areas.
Other potential concerns include people with disabilities having trouble accessing a rideshare and trouble once the weather turns cold.
It has to be seasonal because in the wintertime, this is a whole different ball game.
For now, the department plans to take into consideration the commission's concerns in hopes to improve the proposal. In Fargo, Nashay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Also new tonight, the City Commission voted not to create a task force on street racing and speeding. The task force was proposed after a town hall meeting earlier this month where dozens of residents called for change. Ultimately, though, commissioners decided they're not in favor of what they called one more task force.
All right, outside we had a pretty nice day today and the sun is finally set, but it is after 10 o'clock now, so I can't really complain. First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us now with details. Hutch.
Oh, love this time of year, that extended daylight hours that we get here in the Northern Plains. Just, well, it makes us all feel well, especially when we have some sunshine and some mild temperatures like we saw today, cooling off into the mid-40s already in Bemidji and Baudette. 52 Hallock, 53 Grand Forks, and Jamestown at 57 degrees, still 60 degrees in Sisseton. Radar showing a band of showers. It's drifting slowly to the south and east as we head into the evening hours. Not all of this is reaching the ground, and it's really just sprinkle activity for now, but we do have some changes to talk about tomorrow. Red River has been receding at Oslo. That is fantastic news. It is now in the moderate flood stage, still expected to continue down. Still a battle in the Pembina area along the Red River as it's well into major flood stage. Watching that Cheyenne River Valley as they release from the Bald Hill Dam, keeping it close to major flood stage, but in that moderate category. So we'll keep our eyes on rivers. A couple more tornadoes confirmed today from the National Weather Service out of Aberdeen in Traverse County. A couple weaker ones, 100-mile-per-hour winds is still nothing to sneeze at, causing damage to buildings and power poles in that area. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect as we go into your day tomorrow. Looks unsettled the next few days with several chances of rain. I'll tell you when the bigger event will be on the horizon.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Yeah.
A Valley News Live exclusive for you tonight. We're getting our own bird's eye view of flooding in the Northern Valley. We flew with pilot Matt Pershon around Oslo today. The highway patrolman says he hasn't seen the flooding this bad in more than a decade, but adds it hasn't caused many issues beyond closing roads. But as you can see, this could be a long summer ahead for farmers and road crews cleaning up.
A 19-year-old from rural Cass Lake, Minnesota has died following a stabbing. Authorities say it happened Saturday night at a home there. The victim was taken to Cass Lake Indian Health Services where he was pronounced dead. Police say a 34-year-old man was taken into custody and also treated for medical needs. Formal charges are pending. The names are still being withheld while they work to notify family. A man's in the hospital tonight after authorities say his grill exploded. Fargo police say it happened around 4 this afternoon when a 35-year-old man poured gas onto a grill that he thought was no longer lit, but it was. Set the grill on fire as well as the gas can the man was holding. He sustained some severe burns and was taken to the hospital by ambulance.
Police have now identified the body pulled from the Red River in Grand Forks over the weekend as 32-year-old Jacob Lastly of Red Lake, Minnesota. Police say there were no obvious signs of trauma, but they believe he may have been the person they were looking for during a search of the river last month that was called off. Meanwhile, police in Fergus Falls have identified a body found in the Otter Tail River over the weekend. Officials say 46-year-old Alex Rodriguez of Newburgh, New York, was found there. Police say his body appears to have been in the river for an extended period of time. No foul play is suspected. A baby formula plant that was shut down for safety concerns will soon be up and running again. Abbott Labs reached an agreement with the FDA to reopen its Michigan plant.
The plant was closed in February for safety concerns after several infants got sick. But even though it's going to reopen soon, the formula shortage isn't going to get better right away. Abbott says it'll take about 8 weeks for the new supply to hit store shelves. Kate Raditz's details.
Babies under 1 require breast milk or formula as their primary nutrition. We use Target as an example, and we're unable to find any powdered infant formula in stock at stores near us or to ship. Families with limited resources may not be able to travel to multiple stores looking for formula.
This whole case used to be full.
North Point Community Food Shelf in North Minneapolis offers both infant formula and donated breast milk for families in need.
If you need help, please give us a visit.
And so we do know that this is affecting people not evenly, not equitably.
Hennepin Healthcare pediatrician Dr. Hannah Lixon says a last resort option for babies over 6 months of age is to offer whole milk only until you find formula. Dairy milk isn't typically recommended for babies under a year old.
Infants' digestive system isn't able to absorb the protein and the sugars as easily from cow's milk. And it leaches away, it pulls out iron and other important nutrients from the baby.
Donor breast milk is also a good option for many families. Dr. Lixon recommends checking with friends, coworkers, and community milk sharing groups. You can also buy it from milk banks, though it can be expensive. Dr. Lixon does not want families watering down formula.
It's absolutely not safe to do. And so we are seeing that, and we are seeing kids get sick from it.
If you're desperate to find formula, call your pediatrician or the WIC program.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends parents check smaller stores to see if they have any formula in stock if you need some.
A man was arrested today after police say he caused between $10,000 and $15,000 in damages to a Bell Bank in Fargo. Police say 41-year-old Jeremy Peterson was throwing rocks at the windows of Bell Bank on 13th Avenue South. He never got inside, but he was arrested for terrorizing, criminal mischief, reckless endangerment, attempted robbery, and an assault on a security officer.
There's new evidence in the investigation to a North Dakota state senator resigning following a report about text messages he exchanged with an inmate. Records indicate Ray Holmberg ran up some travel expenses over the past decade, roughly 14 times what lawmakers usually bill state taxpayers. They show Holmberg had made taxpayer-funded trips to 4 dozen U.S. cities, as well as China, Canada, and several European countries. He's reimbursed about $126,000 for the nearly 70 trips. Holmberg announced this month he will resign June 1st. Later in Price Watch, we take a look at grocery prices, which things have been rising the most and how you can save a few bucks.
And last Thursday, an active weather pattern, 8 tornadoes in those windy thunderstorms. The strongest ones EF2s with around 115 mile per hour winds near Tenney, near Verndale, among other areas, with a lot of widespread damage from gusty straight line winds as well. And then the highlight this weekend was mostly moody skies taking hold. Thanks for all of your photos. You can see more on ValleyNewsLive.com. Your forecast is next.